Ever since I was a young boy, George Strait has always been my favorite. It all started when I saw the movie Pure Country. After I saw that movie, I started listening to his music. There were times when I was a young boy that I would dance around with my mom and my grandma to one of his hit songs, I Just Want to Dance With You. A lot of my childhood memories have something to do with his music. George Strait is the king of country. There are three reasons why I think this. Number one, he has the most number one hits ever. Number two, he has stayed around for a while. And number three, he has also acted in movies. Throughout George Strait's amazing career, he has found his way to the top of the charts more than a few times. The first reason why I think he is the king of country is that he has the most number one hits ever. According to John Spong in his 2014 Texas Monthly article, George Strait has 60 number one hits. 44 of these hits came on the Billboard charts, and 16 were based off of other media charts. These hits came in a 4-decade span. The first hit was in 1982, and his last number one was in 2012. That is the 30-year difference. Dan Arminitis, in his 2013 article published by GoUpstate.com, states that 85 of George Strait's 90 radio singles have managed to reach the top 10, while 24 of his albums topped the Billboard charts. My first main point states that he has the most number one hits ever. Along with having the most number one hits ever, he has also managed to stay around for a while. This is my second main point. In Dan Arminitis' GoUpstate.com article, he says that George Strait is the only musician to have a song hit the top 10 in 30 consecutive years. As a matter of fact, in the PDF attached to John Spong's article, it shows that between his first and last number one hit, there was only 2 years in there where he didn't have at least one number one hit. Biography.com shows that his first album was released in 1981. That was 33 years ago. This shows how he has stayed around for a while. A lot of the artists that reach the top die away after they get there, but George Strait managed to stay. My second main point states that George Strait has stayed around for a while. But singing is not all that he can do. George Strait has also acted in movies. And this brings me to my third main point. He has also acted. According to Biography.com 2014, George Strait made his acting debut in a movie called Pure Country that was released in 1992. Along with being a great movie, this movie also had an amazing soundtrack. This soundtrack released many hits, and including 2 number ones. This movie happens to be my all-time favorite. Sometimes when I was a kid, I would watch it 3 times a day, and I also have the soundtrack. Dan Arminitis tells us that although he wasn't a star, George Strait and his backup band also made an appearance in a 1982 film called The Soldier. My third main point states that he has also acted in movies. George Strait has had an incredible career. Those are the 3 reasons why I think George Strait is the king of country. You may not like his music, but after hearing this information, there is no denying that George Strait is definitely the king of country. Again, here's why I think George Strait is the king of country. Number 1, he has the most number one hits ever. Number 2, he has stayed around for a while. And number 3, he has also acted in